3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so I'm going to get a API. Alright, so there's already been an API that's been created for So I have a Ring doorbell peephole camera because I am scared of people. And for those who don't know what a Ring doorbell is, it's essentially a camera that sits outside your door that is a doorbell. And when somebody comes up to the door, it has motion tracking and a video will start recording, as well as you can talk through the Ring doorbell. So what I thought, because I have low self-esteem and I need instant gratification from the things that I make, since I have this doorbell, was to make an automated door lock or smart lock. So this video is split into 3 different parts. The first part is getting access to the Ring doorbell API to detect motion at the door and get access to the video. The second part is the machine learning detecting my face. And then the third part is building the motor with the microcontroller to receive commands to unlock and lock the door. Finally, I'm going to be putting it all together so that when you approach the door, the Ring doorbell will set off, stream a video, and that video will have machine learning facial recognition detection on it, and the door will automatically unlock when I walk up to the door. So that's it, let's get into it. Oh look, they've been carbon neutral since 2007. Let's go to JS Ring, GitHub. Oh boy. All right, the unofficial API for Ring doorbells. Going here and using this open source library will give me access to the Ring doorbell. Once I log in, it has features like when you're approaching the door in these examples folder. So essentially, I'm just going to be following the stream example and tweaking it just a little bit later on. But the idea is to await for someone to come up and start recording. All right, so now I'm going to work on the facial recognition portion of this. Remember, as the person walks up to the doorbell, we want the facial recognition to be detected. Right here, there is a facial recognition GitHub repository. Somebody's already trained a neural network, so I don't have to do it. But there is a live view of this. That's what we're going to be using to feed into from the doorbell. So I'm going to copy this code, bring it into here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to me.jpg, like so. And you can see in this directory here, I have a picture of me to test what's what. So, start it up. Boom, Barack Obama. All right, let's build the motor now. And I would say this is probably the hardest part that I've had. I actually burnt a controller for this. It was not good. I spent multiple weeks trying to even get this into the door. But essentially what we're going to need is the microcontroller, the breadboard for the wiring, the power supply to obviously power it, the USB power, battery, the USB, the motor that actually goes in the door, and wirings and the actual deadbolt itself. Pulling that all off, let's actually start building this thing. The controller goes into the board. It's going to allow for the easily wiring everything up because I don't want to solder everything. This is not a permanent solution, but if you wanted to, you could solder it to the board. Now that power supply lets for regulation of the voltage going into the board itself, and that's just going to be plugged into the USB, and that's into the power. Now this driver is actually being used to control the stepper motor. You actually do need this. I didn't know that when I first got the stepper motor. Connecting them all together, you're going to use our DC pins to connect them to and control them through the software. That goes into the battery itself. Now let's look at the controller code. So the final step here is to get this motor working. Essentially, this is what the stepper motor looks like, very simple. The number of steps I need to know of the motor, and then divided by 4 because the deadbolt only turns about a quarter. So step 50 to open the door, step -50 to close the door, and then I'm exposing an endpoint that I can call to open and close the door. So check this out. We're back at the motor, and whenever I hit that endpoint, the motor turns, which is perfect. Now connecting it to the deadbolt, inserting it into that hole, when we turn that motor and hit that endpoint, the deadbolt will close and open. This is beautiful. And the third time I recorded this. So what I'm trying to do here is fix my lighting. Holy shit. I need to replace it. So the main idea here is to replace this deadbolt right here with this one. And the reason being is there's a little hole here that allows this motor to fit right into it. The other one had a cross. You'll see that doesn't work. So let's pull this off. All right, so this is what, so it didn't work. Stick the motor in like this. Hell yeah. As you can see, this is attached to the door, and essentially this is all plugged into the stepper motor, into the driver, into the board, into the power supply, and I'm using my phone to essentially call the endpoint on the board. Boom, boom, boom. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna combine everything that I did before. So let's go into the IntelliJ. Wow. What? What's failing? My God, why are you failing? This is the point we've all been waiting for. This is the point where I combined all the previous steps. So now when I walk past the door, the camera will pick up my movement. Now, this wouldn't be a demo if I didn't mess up. So let's try it again. I'm gonna walk towards the door. So that's it. Thank you for subscribing. I really need this. I've lost my job, so please give me a like and subscribe.